Yeah, I mean, for me it was St George, the 70.3 2 weeks earlier was the real goal. And I knew going into Texas my points were probably adequate to qualify for Hawaii, no problem. So the goal was to try and finish an Ironman off 70.3 training, and unfortunately, you know, with the car accident things, that even the 70.3 training was a little bit compromised. So we got into the race and I just did what I could, and the back half of the marathon was just the usual shuffle. So, I mean, I finished and objective was achieved, but I certainly don't want to do Ironman that way again. I think I'd much prefer to race it properly, you know, and just surviving it was, you know, it was really hard still. So. Basically I had to get one out of the way, and you know, my bread and butter is 70.3 racing, so it was how do I include an Ironman without disrupting my 70.3 income basically. And I didn't want to race in Australia purely because I felt like there was a little bit too much pressure here to perform well, whereas I thought I can duck over and hopefully do a race where not as many people care about the result, and then just get it finished. Absolutely. The goal was to get it out of the way without disrupting my 70.3 racing, which is still my main focus at the moment. Matt Dixon and I really work on sort of a 5-year plan, and the goal is to be really competitive in Hawaii when I'm 34, 35 years of age, and that's still 5-6 years away. So we're looking at just getting experience racing Hawaii this year, but it's certainly not the focus of the season. It's more just to gain experience and learn that course and learn how I need to race it to be successful later on. I think part of it is racing guys that you know really well. I hate being beaten by my friends, I'd love to do a few more Ironman events where I actually control my race and don't get sucked into going with the 12 metre apart peloton. So, you know, when I raced Melbourne as an experiment, I just panicked and thought I need to get to the front of the race, and I spent 30 kilometres way above what I should have been riding, and then probably it caught up to me pretty quick on the run. So again, it's just, for me, it's about gaining experience. I don't feel like I'm a guy like Tim Burkle who is a real natural diesel engine. I think it's something, Ironman's something that I'm going to have to learn and work at over time. I'd say I'm a little bit more of a higher octane engine, but it needs to be, I need to learn how to control myself in those longer races. Yeah, I am. I think I would love to see, like, those guys are phenomenal. And Jan, even at St George, there were weaknesses there. I mean, he got dropped with me with probably 10 kilometres to go. He was riding not far ahead of me, and then he managed to descend back to the group. So I don't think those guys are completely unbeatable. I think they're exceptional, but it's also, on a course like Mont Tremblant, there's opportunities on the bike there to really hurt guys that can obviously run a lot faster than I probably ever could. So it's not all doom and gloom. I'm actually pretty excited to race guys of that calibre. I mean, they're the best in the world, and they will be no matter what distance they go to or what format. That's how talented they are, and so it's just a good perspective. I think it's fantastic the 70.3 distance for me is the real middle ground between ITU and Ironman, and you know, I look at the 70.3 World Championships last year, even compared to Hawaii, and I thought 70.3 World Championships was unbelievably stacked, you know, and so that's exciting, and there's guys in ITU that will dominate in 70.3 that won't be able to race Ironman, and vice versa. There's Ironman guys that are exceptional that they'll never be able to race ITU. So yeah, I think the 70.3 distance is that one place where we get to test ourselves against the pure speed of Jan and Gomez and guys like that. Yeah, it's exciting. Wow, yeah. I think a lot of people suddenly manipulated their schedule to try and fit that one in, and I'm no different. I'm looking at how I'm going to fit that one in. It's fantastic that there's a race organiser out there willing to put up that sort of cash. It's a real game changer, and I expect that there'll be guys from, you know, some I wouldn't be surprised to see the Brownlees there, and you know, the best in the world at various distances and formats being there. So it'll be very similar to Mont Tremblant. It'll be a great middle ground to really test yourself, and yeah, probably you'll either be slightly off the pace like St George and you could finish 20th and have had an okay race, or if everything goes perfectly, you know, that's an amazing day, and you could certainly buy a few Christmas presents with that sort of prize money. Yeah, Matt's a superb coach. The thing with Matt is he's really looking ahead several years. He's not just thinking about the next race, and that's really why I got him on board. It's difficult as an athlete to when you're really just thinking about paying the next month's bills. You want to peak for every race, and so I really need to bring someone on board like Matt, who's got a bigger vision of the overall plan and how we're going to do it. And you know, I look at the things Matt's worked on with me, and we've really ironed out some weaknesses I had, and we've still got a long way to go, I feel, for me to be competitive in every race that I do. I still feel the consistency isn't quite there, but I feel Matt's the coach to keep working with on that. He's certainly been a real help to my career so far. Yeah, it's tricky. I catch myself sometimes the day before a race. I'll be giving Sam a tip on like what tyre pressure I'd run on this course, or you know, where I would consider possibly trying to break away from some of the faster runners, and then I think, man, I'm probably killing my own race here. Like, but at the end of the day, that's part of my income and it's part of my job, and I've always loved coaching as much as I've loved racing, and I see myself doing that a lot longer than I do racing. So Sam knows that come race day, I've said to him, don't listen to anything I say once the gun goes, because I'll be thinking completely of myself, and he's just another competitor, and he knows that, and we'll do everything we can to beat each other on the day. But yeah, outside of racing, I just have to really put that competitive thing aside and just remember that he's helping me pay the bills, so I owe it to him to make sure he's racing really well.